Yo, what's going on YouTube? Kind of unorthodox here, but I am here Thursday night recording my album reaction for the last album. As you guys know, you looked on their IG page. They're dropping another album tonight called Tomorrow Morning TM. Now they have The Family, which is pretty much a Kevin Abstract solo record dropped under Brockhampton's name. They just kind of wanted to get released from the label. It's kind of like the sad truth with the music industry. It's why a lot of these artists drop shit like this. But I'm going to be going clip by clip, obviously, song by song. It makes it a lot quicker to edit. I don't know why I didn't do this before. But I don't have anything to say. Big Pussy and the ending were very high energy tracks. Those were two singles, so there's going to be 15 new Brockhampton tracks I'm going to listen to now. Tomorrow I'm going to be listening to TM, and then Saturday I'm going to be listening to Roddy Ricch. So this video will be out Friday, TM will be out Saturday, and the Roddy Ricch album will be out Sunday. So that'll be lit. But yeah, I think without further ado, I think we can get into the tracks here. Man, I hope this album is good, but at the same time, we're getting another album tomorrow from Brockhampton. I think it's going to be their official final album as a group. But right now we have Take It Back. Let's go, man. Ooh, okay. It's got like a Vince Staples sound to it. It reminds me of Big Fish Theory by Vince Staples. Fuck, sorry. Is he mentioning Tyler the Creator? I'm not sure. Praise God, because that man taught me hell. That's crazy. Probably true. Hopefully the music's not too loud. It is a little bit. We got a little bit of a fucking jingle going on now. This shit's crazy. It sounds like a hoop mixtape, but at the same time like a Big Fish Theory drum pattern. I gotta check and see if my Sofego footage is left over. I can't have a bunch of that on my computer. Sounds like something Speed would rap over. I like the transitions are already sounding really good on this album, but man, that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool track. It's interesting. Definitely more of a jazzy feel on this record than rap. I mean, Brockhampton always throws curveballs at their fans. I mean, you never know what their next album, like, what it's going to sound like. But that was pretty solid for the most part. I'm not going to say anything on this album, including the singles, is too amazing so far, but it's pretty dope. I mean, obviously TM is like the official final album, so we got to kind of treat this as like a mixtape or like an EP or like a mini project going into it. So yeah, I think it's safe to say we can get into the next song. All right, next song is titled RZA. Mic check. Next song is titled RZA, named after the hip-hop legend RZA, I'm assuming. So let's go. Pretty much this is a Kevin Abstract album, let's be real. Some crazy samples going on. It's gotta end at some point. Come on, you can't keep them together forever. It's a boy band. You know, we saw it with One Direction. Like, all boy bands fall apart eventually. Just fucking dripped Gatorade on my pants. Damn it! Man, I'm not a fan of white Gatorade, but this should be smacking right now. That sounds like an interpolation of some kind. Who's Ian? I like that sound that, you know, that's been going on through the album. It was on the singles. It's kind of like an iconic like little thing that like keeps recurring. The Packers game's going on. I don't give a fuck. Brockhampton's dropping 2 albums this weekend, so I got to get going with my recordings. Yeah. I should probably start working on editing this tonight. I'll probably get it out tomorrow, though. I don't want to overload you guys with videos because I have my NBA recap to work on tonight, but maybe we will work on editing this video tonight, so maybe tomorrow morning when I wake up I'll post this, but for now, stay tuned. I don't really have anything to say about that song. I just want to keep kind of progressing through. There's not really much to say, so yeah. Alright. The next song is Gold Teeth. Let's get straight into it. Let's go. Okay. That sound, you know. Okay. It reminds me of that one song off of Donda with the Lauryn Hill sample. That's facts. Okay. These drums are crazy. They're really like pissed off on this project. The beginning of Big Pussy is so funny, man. That shit's hilarious. I don't really have much to say about that song. That song really didn't do much for me. I'm not gonna have a lot to say about this album. I don't think this album's all that put together, so it is what it is. It's kind of like a prelude to what's to come tonight. I'm very excited to listen to that tomorrow morning, so let's just keep on moving through the track list. Let's go. The next song is All That Again. I'm sorry if I lack some analysis for these tracks. I just don't have much to say about them. They're kind of just throwaways. Some of them feel like that, you know. Some of them even feel like demos, but let's go with all that. Putting a tape in, okay. Okay, this is smooth. Ooh. Kind of sounds, I don't know, this is interesting. They dropped some merch for this and it looks fire. I might have to cop some, I'm not sure. We might have to wait till TM. Whichever album I like better, I'm definitely copying merch. It's a landmark in music. This is their last album, so. It kind of sounds like they're talking about like the memories that their group went through. I'll go into more in depth when we get to the outro of the video. It sounds like very soulful. It's like what I'm getting out of here compared to the other projects, at least. It sounds like that the ending of that song was kind of building into something. We'll have to see what Back from the Road it brings to us. I'm hoping one of these albums makes my top 50. As you guys, I don't know if you guys knew, but on my TikTok, you can look on my Twitch streams, TV Live on Twitch, all of my socials there I've been posting. I have like 6 album of the year contenders, top 50. Again, these aren't like Grammy nominated albums or anything. It's just albums I think are top 50. So yeah, go check that out. And I think one of the Brockhampton albums will end up landing on this. I'm kind of like doing one a day from now on to kind of give myself some time to listen to the new music that's coming out in the next couple of months. So yeah, that's all I have. I mean, this song was interesting. I'll get into all the songs track by track once we get into the outro. So yeah, let's move on. Next song is a short banger, and I feel like a lot of these are going to be short bangers. We have Back from the Road. Let's get it. Ooh. He sounds like Pharrell. This isn't bad. Oh shit, this is about to go crazy. A lot of singing on this. I mean, they sing all the time, but there's a lot on here. And it's less in a boy band manner and more in like a soulful. Like, I'll say that word a lot in this video, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of like really short songs from here on out, so that song was cool. I like the drum pattern. It sounds like something that like Pharrell would hop on, and he would sound good on. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's just kind of how I interpreted it. Again, in the outro, we're going to like break down this album because I'm not talking a lot now, but there's going to be a lot to dive into at the end of the video. So I think it's safe to say we can move on to the next song. The next song is Basement, the shortest track on the album so far. It's only 1 minute and 13 seconds, so let's just get to it. The short bangers, they're just zooming by. After this song, we have like 9 more new songs to listen to, so let's go. Sounds nice. Okay. Okay. The feds, they're federal. Woo. Damn. This instrumental is insane. Holy shit, this album is moving at 1,000 miles an hour now. We're just picking it up. Like, the Brockhampton's really it feels like they're really going to be bringing the heat for the next half of the album, so I guess we aren't really halfway through yet. Technically, after this track, we'd be halfway through like the new album cuts, but that song was cool. I mean, it's always the really short songs apparently that are good. I don't fucking know. I mean, it got straight into the next song. Like, they're not fucking hesitating. They're just throwing these bangers at us. So I'm not mad at it. I think it's safe to say we can move on into the next song. The next song we have here is Southside, the second shortest track on the project so far at 1 minute 22. A lot of just boom, 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 boom. Like, they're getting these tracks out. They just want to get an album out, you know what I mean? So let's listen to Southside. I think TM's the album they're really going to take serious, but this one they're having a lot of fun on, so that's probably a good thing. Let's go. This bass is so raunchy. Holy shit. These last 2 songs have been pretty nice. Ugh. Pretty catchy. I like it. I mean, I wonder what that call was about at the end, but geez, all these last like 3 or 4 tracks have been under 2 minutes, so they're just like, let's just get this damn material out before we drop our last studio album. This is like a mixtape. This isn't even an album. Like, it definitely doesn't feel like that. I think there's definitely some tracks on this album that I'm going to be re-listening to, but wow, Basement and Southside were some really cool tracks. Big Pussy's a good track too. There's obviously some good parts of every track, but again, I don't think Brockhampton will ever click with the listener on first listen, so we'll have to see how this album ages. I don't think anyone's going to take it that serious with another big release coming tonight. So let's get into the next song. I'm sorry if my speech is kind of choppy. I mean, I have like the hiccups right now. It's kind of insane, but let's get into it. This song is called Good Time. Now, I'm kind of a casual because I don't really know the voices of all the members, but it is what it is. Let's just give this one a whirl, I guess. Okay, back to kind of like the soulful sound. Ooh. They're kind of talking about like their label, you know? Like fucking them over. This album covers something, isn't it? They say forever's only as long as the song. That's interesting. I like the background vocals, but the song itself is kind of iffy for me. I don't know. Sounds like a bunch of school children. Might be, honestly. Yeah. I guess just like explaining why they broke up as a group. I mean, the pandemic really kind of set this group away from each other. I'm sure that did stuff. Things happened to a lot of people because of the pandemic, but yeah, the Zoom calls, you know, not being able to actually like face to face and like interact with each other and like actually like have a say in some things, you know. It is a pretty toxic environment, and they kind of like discuss that at the end of the song. So without note, we're gonna move on into the next song. I think that song was alright. You know, the child choir was cool, but I don't think the material was definitely good, but I don't think it was really a good song. We'll just have to keep going. Well, this next song is called 37th, and we're starting to kind of finally get some more like complete songs on here. I'm just waiting for tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be great. They should have some really good features on there as well, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. But 37th is the song title. Okay. Some of these songs sound kind of similar. Am I wrong? I don't know. A lot of like soul music, you know? It's just what it is. Okay, let's hear it. Go in, Kevin. These guys have made a shit ton of money. Like, I don't think people realize that. I guess some people do, but man, they have. Like, they flex the fuck out of their money, too. Not really. People haven't heard of Brockhampton, but my goodness, they've made some dough. Like, seriously. I guess that's not happening. These definitely should be tracks that catch on with re-listens. I mean, my goodness, Roadrunner was an amazing album, by the way. I don't think I ever put a full review out on the channel, but I think it was on my top 50 albums of the year. That album was incredible. One of their best, in my opinion. I really liked Roadrunner, but I might have to go re-listen to that later. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Did that drop this year? No, it didn't. No, it dropped 2021. What am I talking about? I was already in high school when this damn thing dropped. It dropped 2021. I was in high school when that album dropped, but not much to say about 37th. Maybe that's like where they grew up. Maybe there's some sentimental value with that. But let's move on. I think all these guys were pretty closely related, if I'm not mistaken. Next song is called Boy Band. I mean, that's what they are. It's a boy band. I mean, another quick under 2-minute banger. So let's see what they got here. What is going on with all these samples, man? This sounds like something Denzel Curry could rap on. Damn, that's tough. They made this album in a week. Think about it. Another one of those like speed tracks. Sounds like something on the AMP cipher. What the hell? The Packers are looking hella sorry right now. Ooh. This is a roller coaster of an album. I don't think this album is anything good, but one thing I can say is it's definitely been entertaining. I mean, if that's what you guys want me to say, I guess it's a little entertaining. I hear over the fucking TV that the Titans just scored. It is what it is, but I gotta keep going. Not much there. I don't really know what they were talking about on that song. Again, I'm gonna have to look back, maybe talking about the concept of a boy band and all like the stigmas that come with it. I'm not really sure. Let's just move on. So this next up and coming song is Any Way You Want Me. This is an hour 31, or fuck, a minute 31. Let's get into it. Yeah, this defense is sorry as fuck for Green Bay. Okay, nice little rock song maybe? You guys probably can't hear the music that well, can you? I want it to be background when I'm talking. I don't want you to hear it. You can listen to it yourself. Plus, I don't want to get copyrighted. Facts. Because you're, like, kinky, I guess? I don't fucking know what your problem is, bro. It sounds like one of those, like, shittily put together, like, love songs you see in a movie where, like, a dude, like, makes a song with a guitar to a girl. That's what it sounded like. With like a toxic twist, like a modern toxic twist to it. That's kind of what I took out of that track. I don't really have anything to say about it. It was alright. I mean, I guess the vocals were cool. I don't know. I think I just want to move on with this. I mean, we have 4 more new tracks, and so far it's been alright. I like Southside and Basement a lot. Those were cool. So let's move on. So the next song is the title track, The Family, probably one of the lengthier tracks on here, and there's probably a good reason for that, is the title track. So let's go. Labels controlling. Okay. Another sample. Wow. These guitars are fucking crunchy as shit. Very interesting delivery here. I think it's kind of cool. Oof. Sure. Damn, that's crazy. He's talking about a lot of crazy shit here with the group. I'm gonna have to bump this album on the way home tomorrow. I'll probably be listening to TM as well. It kind of reminds me of the voice from Flower Boy, like how his voice sounds. It sounds like Bootsy Collins. I think that's who that is. Oh. I like the vocal effects on that. Not really much to say. I mean, talking about like excluding people from the group from other things because of like ego and like how popular they were getting. I feel like that's kind of like the concept of that song. And I feel like similar sentiments are kind of shared in other songs. But we have 3 more tracks. I think I want to just get through it, put the clips together, and see how long I need to make this outro. So let's go in Lil Baby fashion. Alright, this song is called Prayer. It's another under 2-minute song. I feel like the rest of these songs might be like that. I don't know. So let's go. TM is like the legit album I'm going to be listening to. Maybe we'll have more of a lighthearted tone here with a title like Prayer. This sounds like a demo for sure. Okay. The best singing I've heard on this project so far. Okay, another transition possibly. It must have been very like emotional to like be in the studio for the last time together for the recordings of these 2 albums. You know, the week where they were recording this album, they're like, oh shit, this is our second to last album. I mean, obviously they'll probably still be in contact with each other, but they're not going to be in like in a work environment with each other. So there's definitely some emotion that's probably there for that. But yeah, we'll have to see. Let's just get into the next song. That song was interesting. I think it said, God don't make me grow up. He wants to still kind of live in his youthful Brockhampton self, you know, traveling the world, you know, girls be all over them. You know, he wants to live that life again, but unfortunately it's not the life he's going to live, and I think that's what's going to lead into the next song. I feel like this song, with a song title like My American Life, there's definitely going to be some satirical undertones with it. We'll just have to see what direction the song goes in. It's under 1.5 minutes. It's 1:27, so we'll have to see what they have here for this song. More vocals. Okay. Vocal effects. This is interesting. Just getting a lot of singing on this last half. Okay. Nice, you had the applause in the background. My god, listen to this album as a cohesive piece is probably the way to go. I don't know, man. Next song is Brockhampton, the final track. Well, I'm kind of done talking about this one now, so yeah, let's move on. I think that song was interesting. Seemed kind of from the heart, but again, this is like a filler album to get out of their deal, so yeah, it is what it is. The next and final song is Brockhampton. I don't think they've named a track after the band before. Yeah. What? Stop beating your meat and get out here and watch the Packers. Shut the hell up, I'm doing something. Brockhampton is the final track. Alright, 4.5 minutes, let's listen to this. This has got to be a Brockhampton cut. Like, all the band members have to be on this, right? Is it fucking Christmas? I mean, it's Christmas season. I can't wait for Christmas, boys. This is definitely like a deeper cut on the record. I'm just going to put these clips together and make my outro later. A lot of people grew up in Lil Wayne, honestly. I don't know what I would do. I don't know, man. No, I only got him my therapist. Interesting. You know, like, relationships getting in the way of the band, that might be a reason why they kind of disbanded. I don't know. That's true. I mean, they were just doing it for the fun of it in the beginning. Kind of giving some, like, shout-outs to every member of the group. Is this all Kevin Abstract's voice here? What does Brockhampton mean? Where does that even come from? Is it the street they're from? I don't know. It's weird. Kind of like an intro, kind of like a last call type of thing, but it's like a mini version of it. These samples are insane. I love them. They're just like riding off into the sunset with this one, even though it's not even their last album. It's crazy. Where does this come from? What, bruh? I'll be out in a minute. I gotta finish this. Nothing much to say about that song. Just kind of like an ode to every member and like adding what they bring to the group. More issues of like why the group broke up, kind of more explanation. But with that, I think I am done with the album. I'm going to give a track by track breakdown later tonight, so I'll catch y'all then. Well, the Packers jersey is removed, and we are back to talk about the second to last Brockhampton album, The Family. We're just going to go track by track on the tracks that I actually listened to on this record, kind of what they mean, stuff like that. So, this is their penultimate album. On the Take It Back, Kevin Abstract looks back on the major events, which he sees as having brought him to the position he is currently in, the leader of Brockhampton, kind of what led him to these things. He shouts out Merlin Wood, a founding member of Brockhampton. He talks about how the band's bond will remain eternal even after the breakup. Nothing, they're not leaving on bad blood. Moving on to RZA. Kevin Abstract kind of narrates his feelings on the latest events surrounding his life in the band, the departure of the last, him losing his friends, and the people around him amusing him with the question of why don't you keep the band together, to what he references with the second topic. His mom asks him why he doesn't keep the band together, so she compares with her relationship with Ian's father. So what Ian reflects on the many times he has dissed his mom on previous tracks such as Junkie and many others. It seems his mom doesn't understand how different the situation of the band is to her relationship and fails to comprehend the band departing isn't Ian's fault or something that he can fix. That's just a decision that everyone has to make together. RZA seems to be a reference to RCA, the music corporation and record label they're contracted to. They're the ones who the band still owed 2 albums, one being The Family and the surprise drop TM album, announced after the release of The Family, set to release the next day, same day, but at midnight, right? That's what I'm going to be listening to for the Saturday video. You guys will be seeing it tomorrow at the time I post this. So Gold Teeth is the next song. Gold Teeth is Kevin kind of reminiscing on early days of Brockhampton, his Texas upbringing, and clones they've spawned after their legendary Saturation run over an incredibly trippy instrumental reminiscent of Michael Jackson's They Don't Care About Us. Very interesting stuff here. Big Pussy is a single, so I'm not going to talk about it, but All That is the next song. All That is kind of like a sorrowful tune where Kevin realizes that although they've reached the dreams they've always wanted, it still came with a new set of rich problems. Kevin touches on some of the drama the group went through over the years, from him releasing a solo album in 2018 while the group was still promoting their album Iridescence, to arguments with band member Don McLennan. Kevin flips the positive connotation of the original All That theme song into a very pessimistic viewpoint that everything that glitters is not gold in this nostalgic, depressing track. Back from the Road recounts the life of the band on tour and the experiences they had. Obviously, it's a pretty self-explanatory thing. I don't really have to go into detail on what that track means. Basement, one of my favorite songs on here, energetic and hard-hitting. Basement is the 7th track off of this album. It's one of the more cryptic cuts on the album. The track features Kevin Abstract venting his frustration of parasocial relationships with his fans and how they're out to chase him away him and his band. South Side being the next track, another really good track, really cool run. I need to re-listen to this album for sure, but moving on to a Good Time. Okay, there's not really much to talk about with some of these songs. Let me see. Let me try to find some songs to talk about. This is a pretty solid album. Obviously, it's just something to get the label out of their hair. So, The Family is another Kevin Abstract solo. At the start, you can hear Kevin sipping alcohol from a glass. He then uses the next 2 minutes of the track drunkenly and angrily point fingers at specific moments that might have led to the group's untimely demise. Kevin feels like the band is very appreciative of the platform he's built for them, and he's upset they've left him on social media to deal with their extremely active fan base alone, but he's also blind to the fact that his own actions are part of the problem separating the band, whether it be the constant tweets about the group's scrapped 2018 album Puppy that caused a rift between the band. He even wishes he had a different band. The weird imagery in their NSFW Sugar music video, or moments where their egos clash. Kevin is so angry with the band that he even asked for new bandmates, since he's the only one trying to keep his vision alive. He's just drunk and doesn't mean it. I mean, right? Maybe not. Maybe though, there's some pretty serious emotions on this album, and obviously it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense for the emotions to kind of get through. I don't really have much to say. Hip-hop's favorite boy band, you know, going out on their own terms, like saying fuck the label, they're done. You know, a lot of things just kind of adding up and just compressing into itself to break up this band. But I think they had a really good run. Go back. I mean, if you haven't, go back, listen to some of their other albums. But that's going to do it. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Saturday or whatever, whenever I make my next video. So, yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys. I'm out.